Alfred in the house, and
What's
we
going
also
on?
got Angie in the house.
Hey.
And we all know each other from the boxing gym that we go to. So I got a couple of questions. First of all, how do you guys avoid your hand wraps getting tangled?
Like getting tangled?
Yeah.
So the wraps I actually use are they're fast wraps.
Uh-huh.
So like the first 4 fingers, they're like a little gel glove.
Yeah.
I like stick my fingers through there.
Yeah.
And then it's like not as long as the other wraps, so I just have to just wrap the wrist real quick.
Yeah, I have those too. But even the distance that it has is
They
like,
get tangled?
yeah, like if I put like 3 of my wraps or 4 at the same time, they all get tangled.
Oh, well, see, like when you're washing them.
Yeah, when I'm washing them.
So like what you need to do is like get a garment bag, like a little laundry bag, tie that up, put them in there, so that way they can't like spin around and whatnot.
Oh, okay,
It
that's
takes
smart.
a little longer for them to dry in the dryer, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's how you do it.
Oh, that's smart. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Have you been doing that?
I hand wash my stuff
Oh,
when
okay.
it's like those type of things.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then the little sticky thing, it gets the other fabrics messed up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, man.
Okay. You guys ever hurt your hand hitting the bag?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like how bad?
So like I already have, so like my wrist had to be like reconstructed because I had like shattered all the bones in both my wrists.
How?
So I was playing basketball. I was hanging on the rim. You're not supposed to hang on the rim. My finger slipped off and then it was like, all right.
Wait, I play basketball too. I don't get how
So-
you hung on the rim and
I'm
then
hanging on the rim. I swing forward and I'm waiting for my body to swing back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so I can get vertical so I can land.
yeah.
I never get vertical because my hand slips off the back of the rim.
Oh.
So I'm falling now head first. So I just threw my arms back there. 'cause
Oh,
Yes, I was in the
so
air,
it was you catching yourself from a height. Oh, dang.
So.
Okay, so you got to be careful when you're hitting the bag then.
Yeah, for the most part, but it's just like, even then, it's not even so much of a problem like with the injury that I have, but it's like punching the bag in the right way, like making sure that you don't hit it with your pinky and your ring knuckle.
Yeah.
It's like that's really the main way you're gonna get hurt, or just not having a straight wrist, punch it with a flimsy wrist.
How about you, Angie?
I drink like a lot of milk. I have like strong arms. I guess sometimes when I hit the bag wrong, but I always make sure to do like the little stretches.
Oh yeah,
So-
you stretch your hand before.
Yeah, when I'm driving and when I'm on a red light, I always go like this or like that. Because I think a lot about the body and the stress.
Yeah. Okay, so you do stretches and you just make sure you hit the bag right.
Yeah, I mean, and beyond that, just making sure you should do the small stuff.
You guys know Tayden's fight is today, right?
Yeah, I'll be there later.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, you know who's gonna be here? But he last minute, Derek. He said he was gonna come. Yeah, you know who Derek is? He comes in the morning with us a lot. He's like
Derek.
this tall white guy with long hair.
Oh, yeah, I know
super
Derek.
outgoing personality.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's always joking and stuff. I'm always like pretty serious. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm not always like that. It's just like when I'm in there, I don't know why I get that serious vibe. But
Be in the zone, man.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd be in the zone. Okay, favorite combination.
I like crosses just because I feel the power and hooks. Just 'cause the hip tilt or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so like, but what would be your favorite combination? Like a cross, a hook, and then
Jab, cross, hook.
jab, cross, hook? Okay, how about you?
I'm gonna say high jab, low jab, cross, left hook.
High jab, low jab, cross,
Left hook, yeah.
left hook. Okay. Yeah, I like crosses a lot too. I actually broke my arm like 4 months ago, and so my jab hand is like real weak, and so I can't really hit the bag too hard. So like I go extra hard with my power hand. But yeah, like I like the cross, hook, and like another cross. Okay, another question. What days do you normally go?
So I usually go every day unless like something happens, but the only days I miss really are Fridays. Like I can go on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but it has to be the afternoon classes. Those are the only classes I'm going in the morning. But most of the time I'm there like pretty much every day. Every class that they have one, I'm there.
So you're there every evening?
Most of the times, yeah. Most times unless something else is happening, like important.
Because I see you every morning, so we're there every morning. But I see you sometimes in the morning, but not all the time.
Yeah. So as of like late, like with this last month, I had a bunch of cons and stuff. We were setting up for the concert and stuff like that. So I had like, and we just started a new semester. So now like my schedule is changing. So I'm not going as often, but usually like I'm there pretty much every day. That's how I got like those 150 classes in 90 days. Like I was there all the time.
Wait, okay. Before we get to you, what do you do for work?
So for work, I do,
Wait, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 27.
Okay.
So I do security. I'm also a full-time student. So like I have full course load all even through the summer. And also like I do like Amazon delivering packages.
What are you in school for?
So right now I'm in school for public health policy. I want to transfer because I'm trying to be an OSHA inspector, like full on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you got a lot on your plate, bro.
Oh, I mean, it's like I'm used to like the workload and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to be doing something or else like I itch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Angie, you're there every morning, usually except for the weekends.
Yeah, Monday through Friday in the mornings.
Okay. Like, do you ever like wake up in the morning one time and be like, damn, I don't want to go today?
No, because I really love it.
Yeah?
And that's because I'm not a morning person. I used to wake up at 11, and it's really helped me become like, I wake up and I'm excited to go.
Right. But you picked the latter morning class, right? Not the earliest class.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a 5:30 class and I can never make that one.
No, yeah. Sometimes when I'm like really happy, like my body just wakes me up.
Have you ever done the 5:30 class?
Yeah, I have. And then after, I just go to the gym.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I usually used to wake up at like 7 or 8, and I've been trying to wake up at 6 every day so I can make all the morning classes. But yeah. Angie, you were mentioning to me before we started that you're studying for your PhD for what was it?
Oh, so I'm a PhD student. I'm gonna be on my third year, so I have like around 4 to 5 more years to go. And I study undocumented immigrants who have been deported to create like better immigration reform and better policies.
Nice. Okay, cool. When you said that you're security, you said for concerts?
Yeah. So sometimes I do concerts like in the summertime. I've done EDC. I've done Day in Vegas. Like Rams games, stuff like that. Those are like the bigger jobs, but just the regular day-to-day, I'll do like a security at like a condominium, or I used to bounce at a club for like a year and a half. So like those, I do this mainly security pretty much wherever I can get it.
Okay, I want to talk to you about the bouncing at the club.
Oh man.
Like, who were the guys who were getting the most women, and who were the guys who were like, you would like shake your head at and be like, damn, bro, you're just like being a simp. Like, this is not working for you.
Well, if I'm gonna be honest, the guys who were getting the most women,
A little bit closer to the mic.
the guys who were getting the most women, if I'm being honest, were
Yeah.
probably the bouncers.
Okay.
But I mean, that's just because like it's a safe space. Like, like that's, we're saying people seeing our face and seeing us there every week, that made it like, what I'm saying, they were comfortable with us.
Right.
But I mean, usually the guys who I see in the club with the most women are the guys who came with women.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, I guess.
Okay, I got a good question for you. Okay, I'm interested in this, but scoot this up real quick for
Oh,
you,
yeah, I got
so it's not like, all right, the guys who get tables, right?
Mhm.
I could see that working for some other guys sometimes, but that's not necessarily that. I mean, there's guys that just sit at the table and they're sitting there the whole night, right? And they're not talking, like versus like the freelance dude that's just walking around and talking to every girl he wants. Like what's your perspective on like getting a table? At what point is it worth it and not worth it?
So to me, getting a table is like, it's worth it if you have a group of people. Like if you have a group of people and you need a central space, like for somebody to sit down or something like that, that's when getting a table makes sense to me. As far as like, if we were just having guys night going out, getting a section, not really my top priority. I like dancing, you know what I'm saying? I like moving around. And on top of that, you have people like trying to get into your section or out, you know what I'm saying? You got problems with the bottle when it comes to split bills and stuff like that. So, and it's usually like the people who have really, really good times in sections are just large groups of people who come and they have the whole area out, because those are people who invite other people in, because they're not like really worried about like, well, I don't want this person here, I don't want that person here, because they're just all there. It's already a party there.
Right.
Yeah.
Angie, do you like going out?
Yeah, I like going out.
So like if you if you go to some spot locally here and you are just there with like one girlfriend, right? And you see like some dudes with like a bottle and a table. What does that do for you? Like, do you want are like, oh, like let me go meet them and try to like get some drinks, or like how does that make you? What's your response to that?
My bad. I feel like I'm older now, so I'm like 26,
Okay.
and I feel like that changes things. But I'm like, if I and I don't drink.
Okay.
I don't smoke,
Okay.
so I kind of don't really go out like that no more. So,
So like when you do go out, like let's say you go out with a girlfriend, or how do you like
Yeah.
going out? What's your
well, I usually go to like downtown Santana or downtown Fullerton.
where do you want to go when you go to downtown Santa Ana? Because I went there recently and it was whack. Like Copper Door was cool, but everywhere else was just terrible.
I think Mission Control gets pretty lit.
Okay.
And the drinks are really nice too. Like they light up and they have like a good menu and they have like good vibes. It's like an arcade kind of.
I haven't been to that one.
Yeah, you should go.
Okay. And Fullerton, you said?
No, it says Santana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like when you go out, you're just going to the bars, not the nightclubs.
Yeah, I'm more of a bar type. I like to dance too, but I was in a relationship for a long time. So I would always just go with my friends and I would dance with them.
So how was that when you were in a relationship? Like, did you guys go out together, or was he like against you going out at all?
Nah, he was pretty cool. I think there was like a lot of trust. And I would bring him whenever he could. He's not a dancer, so that would suck. But he was really cool. Like, and I was always like very respectful. Like, I always knew.
Like ask his permission to go out?
I wouldn't ask his permission because I don't think I need it. It would be more as in like I would let him know, like, hey, I'm gonna go out. Like, I'm going with these friends, and I would always make sure he felt secure before I went out. And I would always keep him updated. Like, hey, I ended up drinking a bottle, not a bottle. I mean, like I ended up drinking, or I'm only like we established boundaries. Like I wouldn't dance with dudes.
Right.
Yeah.
Alfred, you and your girl, right? Do you guys go out together to those type of environments?
Nightclubs, not so much. Lounges, we kind of found that we like. So we were in Arizona and we found like some place called a Sidecar, and it was like, jazz playing. We were able to get drinks that weren't ridiculously expensive. And we could just kind of chill, but like it was still nice to be out. You know what I'm saying?
Does she like to go out more than you do, or is it about the same?
I think I probably like going out more than she does. But also I don't like to go out a lot. I mean, I'm a very social person. I love to be out. It's just certain places I like to go. Like going to the nightclub and stuff is not my favorite thing to do, so I don't do that too often.
How would you feel if there was like a night that you and your girl were supposed to go out and last minute something came up for you and you had to cancel? Would you be okay with her still going out with the group of friends?
Yeah.
You wouldn't mind?
No, not at all.
So like, there's guys out there trying to get at your girl, but what's your, what's that trust established that makes you feel like you're totally fine with that?
So really, for me, it's like, it's her word. So I told her, hey, I'm not gonna mess around on you. You don't mess around on me. Word is bond. And I feel like if you could have my girl, then she was never my girl. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a trust thing. It's a trust thing and it's a respect thing that we have together.
The whole word is bond thing, I'm not sure about that, because in today's dating environment, there's like a lot of like fuck shit going on, right? They're like highest divorce rate ever. Yeah. But the second thing that you said, I kind of like that. Like if somebody was able to take her from me in the first place, then she wasn't really my girl.
Yeah.
It was bound to go that way in the long run if that was her mindset, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, last boxing question, and then I'll get to the dating questions I got set up. What do you guys do about your stinky gloves?
So what I do that seems to work, I'll spray them with the deodorizer, and I usually stick around for like a while, 15, 20 minutes after. I'll put them on the glove dryer, man. Right. So like, cause if it's like that hot air is getting in there, that's drying it up quicker than like you just leaving it in your bag or leaving it in your car and like it's wet and it's drying. That's what gets a lot of the smell off. So spraying the deodorizer in there and then drying them immediately after seems to work.
Angie?
Yeah, I do the same thing. I have a patio, so I make sure to leave them outside in the sun. And then I ended up buying some I don't know what it is. It's like
the little sock joints that go in there.
Yeah. I bought them. Yeah.
So what?
It's hard to describe it, but it's like it's almost like a sock, and it has like something in it that you know what I'm saying that smells good, and you put it like inside shoes or inside your gloves or whatever.
Oh, like some kind of charcoal absorbent thing for
Yeah, something like that.
gloves.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's really good because then when you put on your gloves, you have your mitts, your wraps. So your
Yeah.
wraps also don't smell. They smell really good. So I kind of like want to go around telling people, smell my mitts.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go on Amazon and look up those little sock charcoal absorbance things.
Yeah.
Okay, first dating question. How long into dating should you have the conversation about marriage? I threw you guys way off guard.
It depends on what you're dating for. I would say like if you're dating to marry, you should probably say that like immediately. You know what I'm saying? Just so you don't waste each other's time. So like I'm
Like
not
on the
gonna-
first date.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, what's the point of us trying if we have two different end goals, then what's the point of us even starting in the first place?
I feel like a lot of Middle Eastern girls, they do that. They're like, I'm only dating to get married.
That's
and they
cool.
make it upfront.
Yeah, and I feel like some people get offended, like when people say stuff like that, like how could you? But it's like, you know what I mean? If we're not like, you know what I'm saying, if we don't have the same ideals, then what's the point of us being? Why would I try to change you? Like there's other people.
Right. Like that. Angie, what about you?
I feel like it just has to happen organically. Like if you're really vibing with a dude and that's your intention, then do it. But I personally wouldn't. I guess I don't really date to marry. To me, it just happens organically.
So what if you did meet a guy that you were really into, and from the first date he was like, look, I'm only dating for marriage.
I would get scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would kind of throw me off.
Okay.
Because then there's like red flags. Like to me, it's like, whoa, you don't even know me yet.
Well, maybe he didn't say that I want to marry you. Maybe he's like dating a couple girls and he's like, I'm looking for someone to get married to. Would that
Okay.
throw you off or?
No, I think that would be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if he said he wanted to marry you on the first date, then that would be a super red flag.
Yeah, I'm very hesitant when people are 0 to 100. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, what do you do if the person that you know you want to marry and they know that they want to marry you, but their parents are completely against you guys getting married and being together at all, and they don't like you?
Okay. You.
No, you.
So the parents not liking you situation doesn't really matter to me. I think I would judge it more off how the person felt about it. So it's like, hey, my parents don't like you, but I guess it would depend on how they treat the situation. You know what I mean? So like if their parents don't like me, they're like, hey, you don't come here because my parents are going to be there. That's one thing. But it's another thing if it's like, oh, my parents don't like you, so neither one of us are going. Like we're going to do our own thing this Thanksgiving. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Depending on how your partner reacts to it, I feel like that's the make or break for that situation.
So as long as your partner is like still treating you guys as like the number one priority, that we're a team, and I get my parents don't like you, but you know, me and you are still a team.
Yeah.
But what do? You still want to marry the person, and the parents are not going to give you the blessing, and what do you do in that situation?
We're getting married, dog. I mean, the blessing is fine, but if you can't see eye to eye, dog.
So you just tell their parents, hey, respectfully, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
I'm not gonna tell their parents anything because I'm never gonna like make somebody go against their parents. Like I'm like, hey, if you want to keep doing this, we can keep doing this. But like, if your parents are gonna be that big of an issue, then like, yeah, we should probably just not do this at all.
Okay.
That's such a good response. I think for me, it's like two things. Like I have a background in social work, so I got my master's in social work, and I always think that people project a lot. So I'm like, okay, what's going on with like their background, or what did they go through? Like I would try to see like the social aspect, and then I would also expect them to stand up for me. And like, you need to stand up to your mom and tell her like, because it's gonna create tension in the relationship. So I'm very much like, you need to stand up for me because I'm not gonna be doing this my whole life.
Okay, no, that makes sense. What if he did stand up for you, and then his mom was still like, "No, fuck that bitch."
I'll be so proud of him for standing up for me. 'Cause I'm like, wow, he does love me. And it would just be like, wow, so I do come first. Like, I'm ready to get married with you and start a family because your mom is, do you know what I mean?
But you guys wouldn't try to win over the parents. You would just like let it be what it is.
I mean, I would make an attempt. I would definitely make an attempt, but like if I was making an attempt and it was unanswered, and they just had like no factual basis for not liking me, then you're just gonna have to deal, dog. Like because now this is like your family unit has it's reached. You know what I'm saying? Where it's going. You've had your child, you've raised your child to an adult. Now your child's starting their family. So it's like now that we're starting this family unit, you can get with it or you can get lost.
Yeah, you can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. On that same note, what boundaries would you set with your in-laws?
I wouldn't want to live with my in-laws.
Yeah.
Not living, but like what boundaries would you set with them?
Like in regards to what exactly?
I mean, your in-laws are going to be a part of your life, right? Especially once you have children and and all that. Like, but what are the boundaries that you set with them? Like if I don't know, like you guys can only come over so often, etc.
Oh no, I'm not tripping on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they don't come over every day. I would, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so your in-laws want to come over every day. What boundaries are you going to set with them?
Well, first I'm gonna address my partner. And like especially if it's I'm like, hey, your parents come over here every day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that cool? Are you cool with this? Like, is this something that you want? And if they're like, no, I don't like this either. Let's like we can nip that in the bud. But if like they're doing something with my partner or something, like, yeah, of course.
But you would tiptoe around it and ask your partner how they felt first, because you already know how you feel. Like, yo, why are they fucking coming over so often?
That's the thing. Like, I'm not tiptoeing around it, but we're having a conversation. Like, these are their parents, so there's also like it's a respect thing there. It's like if they were to come over and I just bust out the room one day and was like, yo, why the hell are y'all here all the time? And it's like, dog, we were planning a party together. That's why we've been here every day for the last month. Now I look like an ass. You know what I'm saying? So
that's funny. What about you, Angie?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a strong communicator in my relationship. But I would just like I'm very big on family too. So like I love family. So I think that would be really good. But I would just establish with like my partner. I'm like, please, if we're fighting, don't involve them or don't tell them what we're fighting about.
Okay, that's a great boundary.
Yeah, because then they're gonna look at me a certain way, or I'm gonna look at them. Like, just don't get involved in our problems.
So, okay, I like how you said that. So you're okay with them being over often, but as long as they don't get involved in the relationships, like issues.
Yeah, and also if I have a kid, like don't cut their hair, like don't cut their bangs.
yeah.
I'm okay with them getting like surprising me with like ear piercings or like, but just don't. You know, a lot of my family like they'll get the kid and the kid will come back with piercings or like bangs. I don't want my kid with bangs.
So make sure you don't cut their hair any different. Okay. I didn't really think about this one, but I'm sure if I did think about it, there's probably more boundaries that I would want to set. Yeah. Like, I think that one is probably the best one though, is don't get your mom and dad and family involved when we're having problems. Like, let us solve those. Don't run to them for advice all the time. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Have you ever thought that you were dating a narcissist? And I just want to preface this. I think narcissism is only like 1% of the population.
Yeah.
So if you ever thought that you might be like dating someone real selfish, it's probably totally different than being a narcissist.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like full-on narcissist is not something that you see every day, but I do feel like, you know what I'm saying, certain aspects of it, everyone needs to have just a little bit for that like just that self-confidence, but there has been like, I've dated some very self-absorbed people, but I don't think I've ever been dating like a full-on narcissist, no.
So what was so self-absorbed about them that was like, dude, this is a turnoff?
It was literally we couldn't communicate. Like we couldn't have a phone conversation. Like we'd be having like they would talk, and I would respond. But then like if I would say something, or I could be talking at length, nothing. Don't even know what I said. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people like who don't listen, who don't communicate, but just are just constantly boom, 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 me, or like if they need something, but like you don't have the capacity to give it to them, or like, or if you're going through something, they can take your situation and turn it into a situation about them. Like every time, yeah, that's pretty much a turn off.
Okay, so somebody who only talks about themselves and is not able to hear any of the thoughts that you're trying to portray and exude.
Yeah, something like that. Because like I do realize that like everybody's a person, like you know what I'm saying, and everybody's like trying to get through life in their own way. So a lot of times we don't regard like you know what I'm saying the people to our left and our right, the people that we see every day. But like to be in a relationship with somebody is like to consider the other person. And I feel like if you're in a relationship and you're not considering the other person at all, then yeah, that's a turn off.
Okay. Angie, you have any comments on it?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever dated a narcissist. I had friends who were narcissists, but not.
Can you tell us a little bit about your friends that were narcissists? Why do you think they were narcissists?
I don't know, but we would just be on the phone and it would just be like all about them. And then I would hang up and then I'm like, wait, what about my day?
So you just felt drained after the conversation?
Where I would see the phone calls, I'm like, I don't want to pick up. And I would just like avoid them. And then I just realized like, oh, damn, like this is going on. So then I had to tell them like, hey, I think you're kind of being a bad friend. Like I've been going on, I have my own problems too.
Like you're like, hold on, let me get my time clock for this therapy session, right? Yeah, I know. I felt like that before too. Okay. So have you ever been on a date with somebody that you were not attracted to? I have one time, and I was just kind of horny, and I was just like, yo, maybe I can get lucky, and that was the reason why. But no, I've never done it again after that. You guys?
I've been on a date with somebody I wasn't attracted to, but it was like a kind of like a bring a friend type thing. So I was the friend brought, and then another friend was, you know what I'm saying? So it was that type of thing, like
It's like a blind date, double date.
pretty much. But I mean, really cool people. Like we ended up being really good friends, but we weren't doing it for each other, and we knew that like almost immediately.
Wait, so was it a situation where your boy was like, yo, take one for the team? Or was it just kind of like,
It was a situation where it's like, hey, I'm trying to hang out with this girl, but she has her girlfriend with her, and like she wants to bring somebody like so she doesn't third wheel.
so exactly, take one for the team?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. But I mean, she would not to say that she wasn't an attractive woman, but she just wasn't attractive to me. Like she wasn't my type, and I wasn't her type. She was attractive, but she just
So like y'all talked and then it was just like a dead conversation pretty much.
pretty much we weren't not.
Was she doing it for her friend too?
It almost seemed like it, but I think like she was like from out of town or something like that, so she had come to hang out, but like the date and the hangout kind of like overlapped together, and they were like, let's kill two birds, one stone. I was like, oh,
Okay.
not too bad, not too bad.
Angie.
I don't think so, but I have been on a date where it's like in the date, I stopped being attracted to them. So
Yeah.
I'm always just like, instead of letting them pay the bill, I always offer to pay the bill or go half. So I don't owe them anything.
So if a girl ever asked to pay half the bill, can you just assume that she just wasn't into you?
That's what I think. So I'm like, if the girl is gonna be like, no, I want to pay, I don't think she was that into you.
Okay, so okay, what was it that was,
And it was an expensive bill too. Like,
what? So maybe you should have let him pay it, huh? No, I'm just kidding. What was it into the date that you realized like, yo, this is not the,
I don't know. I think it was just like, I didn't think he was funny. I just didn't like his personality, I guess. He was just really, just saying things I didn't agree with.
okay. So he was opposing your beliefs and he was dry.
Yeah, not even like my beliefs, but it was just like, I think we just weren't vibing.
Okay.
I think he thought we were vibing.
You think okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I went on a date one time and then I thought it went okay, but then like I noticed that she was kind of not that feeling it because she started looking at her phone. I was like, yo, what the fuck you doing looking at your phone for? And then at the end of the day, she gave me the side hug and I was like, I'm never talking to this girl again. okay, how long would you stay in a relationship that wasn't going good before you called it quits and tried to fix everything?
Oh, like after you know what I'm
Like,
saying, like
yeah,
had the conversations
yeah.
and that's immediately. Then we're adults. We can have a conversation. Like, hey, this is not working.
How long does it take to maybe try to fix things?
I would give things like a solid like month, like of actively trying, like not just saying that you're trying, but like actively like making steps every day, trying to do something better to see like if the relationship's going somewhere. I'll give it a solid month. If you can't get it together by then you know, I guess it'd be best to move on.
How long do you think you would tolerate a situation before you gave up on it and you tried to work on it and fix it?
I don't know. It's hard because I just I just got out of a relationship.
So how long before you, like, how long from the time that you knew it probably wasn't going to work to the time it actually ended?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just can't answer that question. I genuinely don't know.
I feel like guys are way quicker to make that decision than girls. Like, I feel like girls are way more calculated about it.
Yeah.
Like, they'll find maybe an alternative person to be with before they break up.
What?
Yeah, I've always heard the saying like she broke up with you like 2 months before she actually broke up with you.
Yeah.
So it's like you didn't even know that you were broken up with.
She
but
broke
was
up
there, though.
emotionally, right?
Yeah.
But not physically.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Like I do a lot of research, and it shows that women. There's always like two people, that like one that's like caught off guard, and then one that's like already distancing themselves. You know, like the one that's like, oh damn, they got a girlfriend like a week after, or a boyfriend. So there's always like one, but it's not like gendered.
Yeah, I wish I could be more like that too. Like have backups on backups on backups before I actually broke up, and then I don't know.
It's so much groundwork though, man. It's like,
Yeah. I don't think about things that far. Like I don't have 20 chess moves played out before I make the decision. I'm just like, not gonna work. Cut it. Okay, I kind of ran out of questions. I didn't think we were gonna go through them that fast because normally we have like 6-7 people, so it takes a lot longer. But I do have one question that I know this is a good one. First date. Where did you take your girl out to on the first date?
okay, first date we did Mexican food first, and then
How much you end up spending that whole date?
the whole day. I think the whole day I maybe spent like on the actual date itself like $100. I think like prep was like 50. But we did Mexican food. We had some drinks, and we went to the drive-in. She's never been to a drive-in, and at the time I was driving an SUV.
Oh,
so
we
I
know
kinda-
why you took her to the drive-in, bro.
Oh, there was children around, dog. Chill out. But no, I was driving an SUV at the time. I backed it up. I opened the trunk up, and yeah, we did the drive-in. And she had never been to the drive-in, so that was like, and then it was something that she had mentioned before, like she likes cute dates and stuff like that, old school things.
Were we in the 1950s, bro?
Hey, man.
No, I'm just kidding. I
Classics
think
never
that's a good
die.
idea. Okay. What kind of first date would you rather go on? Coffee or like a restaurant?
I don't drink coffee. I would like to do something exciting, like take me to a bounce house or like rock climbing.
On a first date?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so something active.
Something active or something that we could do, like something exciting that I haven't done before.
Right. You just want to see him sweat, huh? And be like, how many rocks can you climb before you start drenching? We kind of had this conversation in another podcast that like a lot of guys will go and spend $100, $200, $300 on a first date, right? And then nothing will happen after that date. I don't mean sex. I just mean like you never really click with that person. So then a lot of guys are like, why am I gonna go and just like do all this without knowing if this is like going somewhere? And a lot of the girls will say that they'll be in a situation where like 20 minutes in the conversation, it'll get dry, or there'll be like super opposing views, and then they want to get out of there. So we're like agreeing that something, maybe not necessarily coffee, because not everyone drinks coffee, but something that is just like a real quick kind of interaction where you can kind of get to know that person and then decide to go on the restaurant or the rock climbing date. That might be better. And I don't know, I've been on a lot of dates, and I just like, I hate that feeling when I go and I spend like a bunch of money and I'm like, I wasn't trying to smash right away, not necessarily, but it was just like, it just like hurts my, I don't know, like it definitely hurts my pockets, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I'm kind of under the impression that like I'm not about to do something crazy on a first date, but what if you could do something that's like super active that doesn't really cost a whole lot of money? Then that could be like a great idea too, right?
Yeah, I think they have like a wipeout thing in Orange County. That's like 12 or 13 bucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I would want to do that.
What's a wipeout?
It's like obstacle courses in the water. So you're supposed to fall down. It's like Ninja Warrior, but not as intense.
Yeah, you trying to go?
I want to go. I've never been there.
No, I mean with me.
Oh,
No, that sounds like fun. I feel like, yeah, I feel like you could do a lot of things without spending a whole lot of money. And like that's a good point too. That like if you're just sitting there talking with the person the whole time, that is kind of a quick way to get to know them. But you could also get to know them through some like activity, right?
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. You guys have anything that you guys had on your mind that maybe you want to ask or?
I want to ask.
Yes, please.
Alfred. You have any funny or like crazy stories when you were like being a bouncer?
Oh yeah. So I think the craziest. Well, no, I wouldn't say the craziest, but there was one night. We had a guy. And he was messing with some girl. So we pulled him off. We pulled him off of her. Whatever. We were like, hey.
Wait, what was he doing to her?
Well, like he was trying to dance with her. And she wasn't trying to dance. So before the situation becomes like we got to drop this guy on his neck, we'd like, hey man, back up, go over there, something like that. He was pretty drunk, so he went away for a little bit. He came back. I think the second time he came back, he grabbed her or something. So we hemmed him up. We put him to the side because like we have to make a police report at this point, right? So the cop shows up and the cop's like, all right, let me see this guy's ID. Guy pulls his ID out. He's like, looking at it, puts it down, continues talking. Then he looks at it again, like he's not sure. This dude had like a top-notch fake ID, right? But he came with two of his homeboys. And his homeboys, like they left after Buddy was getting arrested. And they're standing outside of the club, like, cause it's kind of like an outdoor spot. They're standing outside of the club screaming at the cops. I'm in law school, I'm gonna be a lawyer in 2 years. You guys don't know what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. And the cop's like, yo, go home or you're gonna go to jail. No, cause this is my friend, we're gonna get him out of here, blah, 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 blah. So the cop walks over there, he grabs the guy, he's like, handcuffs him, let me see your ID. Like all three of his friends all had like these super nice fake IDs. I think they were all like 18, 19 or something like that. They were all in college. But they like, it was like all four of them had these amazing fake IDs, best fake IDs that we'd ever seen. And it's funny because like the cop was like, I'm not even mad at you guys because like I've never seen any that looked this good. It was ridiculous. They had like the black light and everything on them.
Yeah, man, I used to see a lot of crazy stuff when I would go out. Like people, especially when they're drunk, right? They get this crazy confidence, but end up getting knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one time this, there was this one white boy and he was just like running his mouth. It was at Fullerton and he was like running his mouth. And then like, I don't really like to stick around for the chaos. Like a lot of people like to congregate and see like what's going to happen. And like, I was like, no, I'm gonna get out of here. And I go do my thing and I come back 10 minutes later and the white boy is like laying on the floor with blood coming out his ear. And like, I'm just like, dude, people are crazy. I actually almost got beat up the other day.
Right?
Yeah, I was at the basketball gym and there was this like 6'9" Nigerian guy. And like I walk into the gym, I got my headphones on and I'm just like, I grab one of the basketballs and I'm shooting. And then, you know, like when the basketball comes off the rim and like people get their change, like I didn't know whose ball it was, right? So I kind of just like threw it by the free throw line. Cause like leave it at a neutral position because I wasn't sure. Yeah. And the Nigerian dude, he was like, "That was my ball," and then I was like, "Oh my bad, I didn't know," you know. And then so like I'm shooting the ball, and my ball goes in his direction, and I'm going to run and grab it, but right before I could get it, he grabs the ball from in front of me and throws it across the court, and I'm just like, "Fuck you, you big ugly motherfucker! I'll slap the shit out of you right now!" And I just started like running my mouth at him. Everyone's like looking at me like, yo man, look how huge he is. Like, you better chill out before you get beat up. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck this guy. Fuck your mama. Fuck everybody. This and that. And like he ends up like first he was like, "You better be careful." I'm like, "Or what? What are you gonna do?" And like I've been kind of confident because we've been in boxing lately. I'm like, I wish he would. And then I was like, I hit him with 3 body shots right away. And then I was just running my mouth like crazy, running my mouth to him. And then he's like, I'll fuck you up. I was like, you better fuck me up. It'd be embarrassing as hell if I knock your big ass out right now. And like, he goes in and gets the manager and everyone's like, yo, man, who went and got the manager? I was like, not me. You heard how I was talking to him. That's not me. And then he just kept like staring at me too. I was like, what the fuck you looking at with your ugly ass? And then eventually when I realized like, bro, I said everything I could to him. Like I literally ran my mouth so much. I realized like he wasn't going to do nothing. So I got kind of bored and tired and I was like, all right, I'm done. And I just like let it go. He kept staring at me. And I was just like, I'm done. He's not going to do anything.
That's really funny.
Yeah. But I don't do that when I'm at those type of environments because like if it's just me and my boy and then there's like 4 or 5 other dudes that like you never know if someone's got a weapon in that situation. You never know. Have you ever seen anyone to pull out a weapon?
No, actually. So the club that I was working at, we did like
Pat
bypass.
Town?
Yeah, so we wouldn't do females, so the guys. So a lot of times we would get like off-duty cops and stuff like that, and they'll have like their gun on them and like, no, you're not bringing this in here. There's a couple guys who had like pocket knives and stuff like that, and it's like, well, bro, like you can't have this in here. Like you can throw it in a bush or something and get it when you come out, but like as far as being inside of here, like you can't have it here. Which I understand. Like I mean.
But since they don't check the girls, have you ever had situations where the girl will pull out her taser or like spray or something?
So the girls, we don't let them have mace, tasers, or anything. We can't like stick our hands in their bags and search, but we can ask them to open it up and like move the stuff around. So it's just like having an idea for what that stuff looks like, or like cell phone cases that have tasers on them, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. That's pretty much what we're looking for. People always think that we're trying to take your weed and shit like that. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna take your fucking vape pen. But I do want to make sure you don't mace anybody in here or potentially mace me, like if I have to go in here and like handle a situation that you're involved in.
So Andrew, you didn't join boxing because you got some girls picking on you and you're trying to, it was only for the exercise?
Is it only for the exercise? And I really like it.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, pretty much.
There was no ego involved with it?
No, it's pretty much the exercise. I was actually going to get some chicken at the place like next door.
It's so good.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, Mayweather boxing. And I was looking for a new gym because like I had recently just got out of the military, so like the free gym is like an hour away now. So I was looking for somewhere close.
You know there's somewhere called like Omaya real close, and they do like sparring too. It's in Irvine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about it.
I've heard of it. I really want to check it out.
The only reason why I want to check it out is because like we don't do sparring, right?
Yeah.
And they do sparring, so I'm like, bags don't punch back, you know.
That is true.
Maybe we can all check it out together sometime.
I'm on a contract.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. I do want to check out some of the Muay Thai stuff too. Andy was telling me about like at his Muay Thai gym. I definitely want to see what that's about because in my personal opinion, I feel like Muay Thai is like the hardest type of fighting. Like those guys are made out of stone.
Well, I asked Andy the question the other day, like who would win in a fight, a Muay Thai or a boxer? And he was like, bro, Muay Thai has 8 weapons.
Boxer has
the
2.
knees, and boxer just got the 2. So, okay, but if you were in a situation where you got into a fight, would you use all your faculties or would you just stick to boxing since you've been training boxing lately?
It depends. So usually like I'm gonna try to size you up at first. So like if I see how you're standing, if it looks like you're trying to box me but you just don't know how to box, then I'll probably just box you.
What if he's 6'9"?
Well, if he's 6'9", I mean, you gotta chop down that tree, dog.
I'm telling you, I wasn't scared because I was like, I'm gonna get so low and go to his body that.
I mean, the leg kick, the leg just right there, boom.
You would throw a kick?
A lot of people never like had a leg. A lot of people never been kicked in their thigh before. It hurts so bad if somebody knows how to kick and they kick you in your thigh. And if you've never felt it before, it is so surprising that first time. You're gonna be like, damn, what is happening to my body right now?
Yeah. You said that your knees got all bruised up, right?
Yeah, I should have worn a skirt to show you. But yeah, I think
because Andy has us throwing like
Muay Thai, yeah, the knees, the kicks, elbows.
Was that just from the first day?
Yeah, but I also tried out another gym and they were having me do knees. and that's where I also came from.
Oh, what? You're not being faithful to us now?
It's because I wanted to try jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
Yeah, so I joined the jiu-jitsu gym.
Well, have you ever tried that?
I've done something similar to it. The Marine Corps has this thing called McMAP. It's the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, and it's a little bit of like BJJ mixed in with like some knee strikes, Muay Thai. It's just like combat fighting.
Okay, I got something to say about jujitsu, but I want to hear about your experience with it first.
Well, it was my first day.
Did they wear the whole like the white get up and?
Yeah, I had to borrow a gi, and it was kind of big, but it was really dope. I liked it because I live alone, so I'm always like, what if someone comes in? Like I probably shouldn't have said it.
Well, okay. The thing about jujitsu is like how much you weigh?
I weigh 110.
Okay, 110 girl that gets some 200-pound dude in the wrong situation, right?
Oh, yeah.
It could be like a chokehold or it could be like an arm bar. Dude, you're fucking that person up, and there's like a super unequal, weight, disadvantage or whatever. And I feel like if you don't know that the arm bar is coming, if like you have no idea what an arm bar even is, bro, if you get caught, you're fucked, right?
Exactly.
But if you kind of like, oh, this person's going for that, he's going for this move, you don't have to be a master in jiu-jitsu, but you can kind of like, I'd rather stay on my feet. I don't want to go to the floor if I'm fighting. I'd rather be neutral. But like, I don't know, what do you do if someone goes for the ankle, the ankle or the arm bar or the chokehold? Like, how do you, I don't know.
My thing has always been like, just be multifaceted. Like, I love boxing, but I also like, Will, he does jujitsu like in tournaments. I went to one of his tournaments last month, and like I learned stuff from him. I learned Muay Thai stuff from Andy. Just have like a little bit now, like a little base knowledge of everything, especially when it comes to stuff like that. So that way, like I'm not second guessing, like unless somebody's like a professional fighter, like I'm not second guessing like what discipline that they practice.
Are you gonna stick with jujitsu?
I think so. I really like it. And also I've been like really grateful. Like growing up, my dad he would hold mitts for us. He would kind of teach us how to fight. And my sister was really good at karate. Like she would like knock girls out with her kicks.
Oh yeah.
So
how do you like kicking?
I think I have a pretty good, I don't know why I can't kick like the bags in Mayweather, but I think if you like hold the way my sister holds the mitts for me, I think I kick pretty good.
Oh yeah, you fuck someone up?
I could, but I'd rather not. I had too much to lose.
Yeah, I feel it. The kicking stuff is kind of hard for me because like I've never really tried to kick, but I feel like I've seen somebody do like a kick sweep before, and I was like, bro, that looks so cool if you can kick someone and sweep them off and then like throw like a left hand. Okay. Anybody else got any topics to throw in there before I ask the next dating question? Have you ever dated somebody that you knew wasn't good for you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why did you do that?
It was fine. What you mean?
It was fun?
They was fine.
Oh, they was fine.
Super fine. But I was also like young, like when I was like 17. But yeah, they was.
So okay, that's the only reason, and that's totally I totally get that, right?
Yeah,
so
I was a kid and I was like, dog.
how long before you were like, yo, I can't deal with it no more?
I think I was like maybe like 6 to 8 months. Like I wouldn't even say a full year.
So you could deal with the toxicness for about 6 months before it starts to like really affect you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Angie?
No, I've been.
You're healthy. Your dad loved you as a child and all that.
I had good examples. Yeah,
that's good.
I always had love.
Okay. How do you feel about dating a man that earns less money than you? And how do you feel about dating a girl that makes more money than you?
I would
break up with him.
Nah, I wouldn't. But I would sign a prenup for sure. I think even going in now, I'm gonna get a prenup for sure.
What if he made more money than you? Would you get a prenup for sure?
I would, just because I know I'm gonna have certain properties, or like not like I just don't. I'm like, what's mine is mine.
Right. You're confident in your abilities.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine. But if he makes more money, well, if I make more money, I'll probably take on more. Like, okay, I'll pay more of the rent. I'll be more equal.
Would you expect more from him in other ways?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, can you cook for me?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. Like that. That's it. I don't think that situation's ever bothered me. Having my girl make more money than me, I don't think it would really bother me. I think we're a team, so it's like we're both contributing in different ways. So like if you're I didn't want to use a sports analogy, but like yeah, we're on a team. So like if you're scoring, like you know what I'm saying, if you're scoring, yeah, of course I'll be there to give you your assists. You know what I'm saying, where you need them. But yeah, never bothered me. If anything, it just make me grind harder.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree 100% with both of you guys because I couldn't do it. Like,
Right?
no, I could never do it.
Are you
Well, why not,
intimidated or something?
It's not that I'm intimidated. It's just that I know if you asked me to cook, I would be like, bitch, what? Get your ass in the kitchen and go make some dinner. Like, I wouldn't want to be the one in the situation that has to pick up some of the traditional gender roles of the opposite sex. And then on top of that, I feel like she would be a lot more demanding and authoritative. And I don't like that. Like, I'm in charge. Like, I'm the dude. I'm the dominant, you know? And if she starts acting that way, and I'm not saying it's always like that, but like you could have a girl who could be submissive and feminine and all that stuff and make more money than you. But I just don't want to take my chances. I need to be the one who makes more, who has the final word on everything. And if she makes more money than me, I just don't see it going down like that. And yeah, that's just my personal belief. Yeah, so
I feel like it depends on the disparity. I feel like it's like how much more money are they making? Because like if they're making like maybe $5,000 more dollars than you, like you guys are kind of still like.
Well, that's like yeah.
If you guys are still in the same
you could call
tax
that
bracket,
equal.
Yeah, but it's like, and it also depends on like what you guys are professional, like how successful you guys are just as a unit. So like if I'm a doctor and I'm dating Beyonce, like of course she makes more money than me, but it's not like I'm not successful, like I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
But
so
do
at
you
that
think,
point, it's like the gender role kind of thing kind of goes out of the window because there's so much of like the money that you don't have to worry about those kind of things. You have a maid, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that, but I still stand by what I said. Like I just couldn't do it.
I don't think you could handle a strong woman.
No, I don't want to handle a strong woman. Like I don't want to hear all the like all the opinions and all the like the backlash and all that. I just want it to be like, I swear I should have been born in like the 1950s. No, I should have been born in like the caveman era. Like just no.
I don't know, cause I feel like I can't do that. Like I feel like I need my man not to think of me like, oh, I'm gonna have the last word of like, now we're equals.
But you're from a Hispanic culture, right?
Yeah.
So what's it like with like how was your dad and your mom?
Well, I felt like I'm very grateful that my dad was very like, he wasn't as machista as like other dads because he's not from the rancho, he's from like la ciudad, which is like the city.
Okay.
So he was very like open with like my mom was working, my mom when my dad was working, like he was really because we're 3 girls and 1 boy, so he was always like, whatever you do, always make sure like you could support yourself, like don't depend on a guy. If you get heartbroken, get up. Like he was always very, he not trained us, well he did train us, but he would also raise us to be very independent. And he'd like don't let yourself from a dude, like stand up for yourself.
So if you met that type of dude, the machista.
Oh, I can't do that. Like I think I'll just get like all riled up.
Oh yeah?
I can't do that.
So you need it to be a little bit more 50-50.
Not like 50-50, but like if it's more like 70-30 if he's having like a bad day, and if I'm having a bad day, I'll give less or more. It's all about just being more
It's give and take.
Give and take,
It's a
yeah.
give and take for sure. Yeah.
Because like when I said like if he's gonna cook, I'm like I love to cook, but there's some days where I'm like so busy that I can't cook. I'm like I would expect him to step up and make me a meal, and I'll wash the dishes or something.
I think that's fair. And just to like say like I'm a great cook, so like I'm not about to be like, no, I'm never gonna cook, and you gotta stay your ass in the kitchen for 5 hours a day. I'm just saying that like I see the way that the 1950s was, and I'm like, I know we're not in those times anymore, and a lot has changed, but it's just like divorce is so rampant now. It's like 80% or some crazy number like that.
You gotta take in those other statistics too, man.
Okay,
Like the
go ahead.
1950s, okay, you got your housewife, but she's also at home out of her mind on Quaaludes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these weren't happy women. Like it was portrayed as happy, but these weren't happy women. And you know what I mean? It's revisionist history.
I've been following this one chick on YouTube, and she's like a traditional wife, and she like embodies the 1950s culture. And she was talking about how she went and she tried to have a career, and she went and she tried to do like investing, and she went and like tried to do social media, and like she tried all these things. And at the end of the day, she just was like, yo, I just wish I could have a man that takes care of me. But here's like the caveat. The dude can't be so overbearing and controlling that he like dictates everything she does and like reprimands her in ways. Like he has to be, like you said, there's certain times where you just had a long day and you're tired, and like he could pick up the slack a little bit and help out. Like the dude can't be such a macho dude that he's not gonna ever be flexible. But she said that she was way happier in that kind of environment where like the man was the breadwinner, and I know it's not like that nowadays. Like women, they have careers and educated and everything, and I'm fine with that. I'm just so scared of divorce. I'm like, bro, I feel like it's just if it's 80%, you know, then I don't know. Like it's just kind of something to kind of be careful for getting into a relationship with the general type of woman that you see getting divorced.
I mean, I guess maybe because how I grew up, I would just say take your time. When I was in the military, I saw a lot of people get married fast, like quick, boom, 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 like very young, got married to like high school girlfriends, some girl you met in a club, like the first girl you met in Oceanside, those type of things. And I've seen them like not last. But I've also like growing up, I've had like aunts and uncles who've been together for 40 years, but they've never been married, but they never had problems. So I feel like taking your time, like into the marriage thing, and it also depends on how you view marriage, like what it represents to you. Because I've seen people who've been in like almost lifetime relationships and get married like close to the end of it, but they were just having a great time together. They were just enjoying each other's company for so long.
Okay, I think this is a good line of thought. So let's say that, do you want to get married one day?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, do you want to get married one day?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I want to get married one day. Let's say that, okay, we've established we all want to get married one day, right? What are some things to look out for? What are some red flags and what are some green flags?
For like picking a person to marry?
Yeah.
Do they have good credit? I mean, and not even trying to be funny, but like even like if you have someone that you like and they have bad credit, like
or not just that, but their debt too.
Yeah, your dating time, like the time that you spend dating, you guys should be like working that out like before you actually do that, because there's nothing says that like if you're not married that you're not together. But also marriage is a contract, like legally binding with the government. So it's like you want to make sure that when you do enter into that contract, you're in the best situation possible for both people.
Okay, I'm gonna throw some jabs at Angie right now. You're going for your PhD, right? So you got some student loans, right?
Not as much. Like they're not that high.
Okay. Okay, then that doesn't really count. But let's say you had a friend that was getting her PhD, and she had $200,000 of student loans.
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair that her man pays her student loans off if he's got it like that?
If he's got it like that, then I think it goes back to if he's making more, then yeah, that's your wife.
Okay, what if he's just like a engineer and he just makes normal money?
I think at the end of the day, it's like her responsibility, and they should sign something that says like, okay, that debt is not going to be his debt.
But back to what Alfred said, that's not how it works. It's a contract you enter into that.
But
you have to pair that with the person, who the person is. So like, say for instance, like, my girl, she has degrees. She's in school now, but like she's all set to be a career woman. But like she doesn't want to do that until the later years of her life. So she's like, yeah, when we get married, like I want to be at the house. Like I want you to be the breadwinner. And I was like, yeah, that's cool with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's able and she's willing to.
I would be so happy if my girl said that to me.
Yeah, like she's able, she's willing to build so we can get to that point to where she can get comfortable. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind doing it if you will help me get there. And she's helping me get there.
But she's in her best. I'm assuming she's around your age, right?
Yeah, we're the same age. We're like a month and a day apart, actually.
So she's in the best reproductive years of her life, right? So does she want to have kids?
She does. Yeah, we both do.
Like sooner than later?
No, not sooner than later. Because I mean, if we're being honest, like we're 27. We're not like ridiculously old. We're in pretty good shape. We still have some traveling and stuff that we want to do. We're both still in school. Like it's not the smartest decision to have children right now.
How late do you think is too late for a woman to have kids?
I don't know, man. We're ethnic people, you know.
Yeah.
That don't matter, bro. We all human beings.
No, I'm just saying, man. Ethnic people we have babies mad late. Jamaican women have a baby in her 50s or something like that.
Okay, but that's the exception. That's not the general population.
I personally wouldn't want to have a kid past 40. Just thinking about like my own body and thinking about the credit thing and debt. I think it's okay to have like school debt, but if you're having like reckless debt from like partying, that'd be different.
We're gonna get back to the babies but okay, 1 second to address this. Let's say you want to marry this guy and he's got $300,000 in student debt. How do you feel about that? And you
student debt?
Yeah, and you're gonna have to pay half of that for him.
Well, it depends what type of debt it is.
It's student debt.
But it's like law. Is it law school or is it like medical school? Because if it's medical school, we'll be fine.
No, let's say you went for a PhD also.
A PhD. I would kind of be thinking about them like they're free. Why are you doing debt if it's free?
Okay, let's say it's medical school.
Medical school, I think I'll be fine. I don't think I would pay half of it.
Let's say you're earning enough to pay half of it.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'll pay the whole rent and you just focus on your bills. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Like if I'm making that enough, you know? Yeah, if I could, I would.
Okay, let's say your girl has $250,000 of student debt and you're gonna have to pay half of it. How do you feel about that?
I don't think she would let me pay half of it. And me myself personally, I wouldn't pay half of it. Yeah. Like she mentioned, I would just I'll pay the bills. You handle that, you know what I'm saying?
And she gotta pay the groceries a little bit, you know?
You know what I'm saying? Just you gotta give where you can. But like, you know what I'm saying? Depending if you're with a decent enough person, they're gonna be like, hey, well, this is my debt. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give you my debt. Like I would have had to pay my student loans whether I met you or not. So
but like you guys are saying like they pay the rent or they pay their debt and you pay the rent, but aren't you like still supporting them in a sense? I mean, so like, isn't that kind of like paying half of it anyways?
I'm also supporting myself. I live there too.
No, like she said that she would pay all the rent for her man to pay off all his student debt.
No, like
you don't want him to pay no rent?
No, I'll be like, I'll pay most of the rent and then you could just help me with like some of the rent and some groceries. I don't know. I haven't been in that situation. But
you'd be okay with your man that you pay most of the rent? If the rent's $3,000, you pay $2,500 and he pays $500?
If I had it like that and I had the means, I wouldn't mind. And he was a good dude. You know, I'm like, oh, you're helping me out with.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. It's
like on the back end, because I've seen like relationships where it's like one person supports one person through school, and then after they're done, they're a career person, they flip, and then this person goes to school and you support them. So like, if you can do it like that, then
look, I'm not gonna lie. I think that a guy would be accepting to do that, but I don't think no girl would do that for the dude. I think the girl would be like, yo, you need to have your shit figured out. I think a guy would be like, all right, fine, I'll pay half your fucking student loan.
But that's the thing, like, don't do it if you don't want to do it.
Like, don't throw it in my face when we're mad at each other.
Right.
Like, if I don't want to do something, I'm definitely going to let you know that I don't want to do it. And then if you make me do it anyway, then it's like, just
okay,
get what comes with it.
Let's say that the dude was like some business dude, right? And now he's got like $5 million of debt because he fucked up.
Okay.
Would you...
I thought you were going to say that he was earning $5 million.
We can talk about that next too. Yeah, he got a $5 million loan that just
Yeah.
fucking.
But he doesn't need to pay it right away. I'll be like, get on the lowest interest plan. Like you don't need to pay it. Like you're never realistically gonna pay it off ever.
That's
So I'm
scam.
like, yeah, like just pay the monthly things that
I think as long as I felt like that partner of mine could get themselves back into the race, then I'd be okay with it. Like, okay, all right, as long as you figure this shit out. Well, how about you? Because that's
Yeah.
a lot of money to be.
Yeah, like if you had like a .com that crashed or something like that. I mean, it's kind of, these things happen, big risk, big reward. But yeah, I guess I'd have to go with what you said, like get the lowest monthly interest rate, and we just
The
pay
lowest
it off.
payment.
Yeah,
every
lowest
month.
payment. We'll just pay that thing off.
Okay, back to the babies thing. So you wouldn't want to have a kid past 40?
Well, I would prefer not to.
Okay.
Just gotta think about my body.
Okay, what do you guys think is the ideal age for a woman to have a healthy baby?
Ideal?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
You think
I
a
don't wanna
woman
say
having
ideal because I don't want to get like too sciencey with it, but I feel like just like
Okay, a woman having a baby at 35. How's that?
it does not sound bad to me.
Yeah,
I feel like
good.
that's not a bad time to have a baby.
If someone told you that there was health complications with the woman having a baby at 35, would you consider maybe doing it a lot younger than that?
Maybe not a lot younger, but yeah, somewhat younger. Like if we were to like talk to like a birthing specialist, right? And they were
Yeah.
like, well,
I wish we had
okay,
one too. That would be so cool.
yeah, that would have been fire. Like if they were like, okay, the best time is between like now and now. Like you guys are this old, like you have this is your window of time, like this is where it's closing. Then you can talk like to your partner and like make a decision based off that. But as far as like
I'm not an expert, but I think that window is like 19 to 30.
yeah. And I feel like at like once you start getting into your 40s, I don't think people are more worried about like running after like having a baby, but I feel like it's more like having a toddler or having a child or having somebody going through puberty while you're like 50 years old. That's probably gonna be really annoying,
Yeah.
and it's probably gonna be hard for them to hear you. But just so there's not too much of a like a generational gap between like me and my children, as long as we can like relate on some, you know what I'm saying, we can see eye to eye on some level. I don't think it's like too old.
So at what age would you prefer your girl to have a kid?
I would 35 sounds yeah, 35 sounds
And you're
about
only
right.
gonna have one kid?
No, we'll probably have multiple.
How many?
Yeah, how many? That's a good question.
So I want a boy, she wants a girl. But she also said she wanted twins, so I mean like it's two boys.
What do you mean she wants twins? You can't choose
Does
that.
it run in the family?
So there's twins in my family and there's twins in her family, but they're kind of spread out. But like the ideal situation, like for me and her, essentially perfectly would be is like first go around twin boys, and then like maybe.
Wait, are you guys gonna like make that happen like through scientific procedure?
No. It's just we
Just gonna pray to God
we just
and
putting
hopefully
good vibes in the air and hoping they
Okay.
come back. You know what I'm saying? But like yeah, the ideal situation that we would love to happen would be like twin boys first go around, and then have a girl to just wrap
Okay,
it up
but
at the end.
let's talk about
within,
like
that first year or two gap, and then we can.
But like realistically, okay, you think your girl will have you and your girl, she'll be 35 when you guys have your first kid?
Well, it'll probably be a little earlier. Just
You know how much harder it's gonna be for a 35-year-old woman to have kids, multiple kids, versus a 27-year-old?
well, that's the thing. Like, if the whole plan for us having children is to have them like back to back. So like wherever window that we find to like that we're gonna like solidify that we're having children, like they're gonna happen. Boom, like pregnancy and then another pregnancy if she wants to do another pregnancy. That's the thing. So like with that first pregnancy, if she's like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that again, then we just won't do it again.
So 3 kids?
3 kids ideally.
Starting at 35?
Yeah.
Okay, Angie, when do you want to have kids?
Maybe like my late 20s or early 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many kids do you want?
I want like 4 to 5. I want to go big family.
Yeah, I'm the same. I want like 4 kids as well. I'm just kind of like, I feel like I have to meet a girl that is young enough to have 4 kids, because I feel scared for my girl to be having kids too late. You know, it's like a health complication for her and the baby too. Damn, we touched on a lot of good topics. So the initial line of thought was, if you were going to get married with somebody, what are some red flags and what are some green flags to look out for? So what are some other red and green flags? Let's talk about green flags.
Green flags?
Yeah, because we could be so negative, and we will be, but
Good conflict resolution. I do like how people react in like panic situations. That says a lot to me.
like, how would you want that person to react?
I need somebody to be level headed. You know what I'm saying? And even if like you're not coming up with a solution, I just need you to be calm enough to where I can come up with a solution, and I just don't need you to be freaking out like right beside me. It's like if something's happening, like if somebody's breaking into the house, right? I don't need you to start screaming immediately. I need you to be like, hey, somebody's breaking into the house. Possibly hand me a weapon, or at least just be quiet enough to where like I can figure something out and then make something happen.
You know, I agree. That would be nice, right? For your girl to be calm and collected. But that's your job, right? To be calm and collected. But it's
Absolutely.
also your job to deal with her when she's not calm and collected. And I've been in a situation like that before. I was like, yo, like I wish she was like, how come she couldn't just be like chill so like it'd be easier on me? And then I realized like as the leader, you have to be able to deal with everyone else's chaos as well. And have them point fingers at you as you being the one that fucked shit up when you didn't. You were just trying to solve the situation. So it would be great to be with a girl that has great conflict resolution, that handles situations calmly. Yeah, you're right. Do you, okay, green flags. What else?
They have to be street smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's an example of street smart? Like not book smart, but what would be something that's street smart that would get you in a situation that was like, yo, I'm really glad that I had you around.
Yeah, more like I think you'll just know if someone's street smart.
Right.
Yeah, like if
I think I get what you mean. Like somebody who can like spot a scam and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm
or
saying?
they're like they think on their feet real quick.
Exactly. Or who can like assess a situation, like, you know, when someone's about to get ratchet, he's like, look around, like, it's kind of sketchy in here. Like, people who have that discernment.
So there's like levels to street smart, right? What we're describing right now is being situationally aware, right? You'll be in any situation and you kind of know your environment and the people around you. But then there's like, what's some other examples of being street smart besides being situationally aware?
I feel like for me, being street smart is just being aware, like, just, you know what I'm saying? You're not outside paying $75 for an eighth because you know that an eighth is not $75, you know, just things of that nature.
And also maybe even like you don't have a lot of money, but you're able to make a lot with a little bit. You know, like I don't like big spenders. Like if you have the money, that's great, but
So you wouldn't date the billionaire, but you would date the smart guy?
I think I would, yeah.
You would date the street smart guy and not the billionaire?
Well, because I don't really like money like that. You know, like my goal is not to be a billionaire; it's just to be good.
Okay.
And I don't like expensive stuff.
So you would rather drive a regular car than a super expensive car?
Yeah, I ride Tacoma. And it's old, and I'm like, I like it.
I think a lot of the guys are gonna fall in love with you watching this chat. Like, yo, man, we need some down to earth girls like that. Cause yeah, a lot of girls are really superficial. Other examples of street smart. I feel like this is a good question to ask in the next podcast. Like, what are examples of being street smart? And street smart doesn't necessarily mean like streets, but like, yeah, that term is relatable in business as well. You know, like you have to be able to identify a grimy person from a trustworthy person. And that's kind of hard to do if you haven't been in, okay, experience. I guess that's one example, right? It's like you have experience with people. Let's see. I think I got some more questions.
And also like maybe being open-minded.
That's a fact too.
You know.
Okay. Not like me.
Or at least like just be willing to accept that things are different. Like you don't have to like just being able to acknowledge it, because I've seen like some people who are just like super set with like, hey, it's my way or the highway, and like you can never see another perspective. I feel like people who don't consider perspective, that's a red flag for sure.
Okay, so a red flag is somebody who's so set in their ways that they are not open-minded enough to see the other person's point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, what are some other green and red flags? Like, this is the person you want to marry. This is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Like, what do you absolutely know you want and what you cannot tolerate?
Sense of humor for sure. I do. Green flag, sense of humor. People who can take a joke and definitely give one back. Definitely love that.
But also like a matching sense of humor, like the ability to banter with that person. Because you could be super funny, but then with another person, you guys like don't really have that same energy.
Exactly. We definitely need to click. It needs to be like almost to the point where like I can just like look across the room and then you can read my mind and we can just like laugh because you know like we spotted the same thing. Like we need to be in sync.
Okay, I want to comment on that. Okay, everyone talks about communication, right? But I think 90% of communication is like nonverbal, right?
Yeah.
So like you said, you're able to look at somebody and just like know, like I know what that person's thinking, I know what that person's feeling, just because of like a sigh or like a facial expression, like to be able to like read that person's communication without saying all these words, right? Okay, so great green flag is great communication without words.
Exactly. And being able to identify it too, because there's a lot of times where like you'll say one thing, but like you definitely like you totally mean another. Like sometimes I ask my girl like, "Hey, what's wrong?" and she'll go, "Nothing." I'm like, "Well, there's obviously something wrong," but you know what I'm saying? Just being able to identify that, because there's some people
you're like, baby, use your words.
Exactly. There's some people who are like, "Hey, what's wrong?" "Nothing." You're like, "Oh, well, nothing's wrong," and then you know what I'm saying? They just go about their day, and then 6 months later, you're like, "What?" And it's like, I thought nothing was wrong, you know. So gotta pick at it, but be able to identify that for sure. Like
So
when somebody's aggravated.
It's seeming like she has poor communication when she says nothing, but she is communicating when she says nothing. She's like saying like
The way she says it, yeah, for
like
sure.
okay. Do you do that? Like if something's going wrong and you guys like, baby, what's wrong? And then you say nothing, and then expect him to know like, yo, motherfucker, something is wrong.
Nah, I think it goes back to like I think I'm a strong communicator. Where like I think I'm okay with being vulnerable, and I'd be like, you hurt my feelings. You know, I'd be like, oh, you hurt my feelings when you did this and that. And it reminds me of that.
Okay, I have a question for you. What if something that he did was totally the right thing to do, but it hurt your feelings? How do you respond to that type of situation? Like maybe you're in a scenario where like it's like a dangerous situation where you guys are out or something, and he knows, like he's street smart, so he knows that probably the dude's strapped or something, whatever, but the guy was disrespectful, and then he just didn't say nothing, and then later you got in a fight with him because like, yo, why didn't you stand up for me? And like you guys would have both got shot that night, but it hurt your feelings that he did that. How do you respond to that, where your guy knows better, he knows better than you, but some things that he does hurt your feelings?
Now I'll talk to him. Oh, damn. I feel like you just said a lot and I don't even know how to respond to it. But there was a situation, we were at a concert and I was in the restroom and he thought I was getting jumped. And he was about to go inside. So that really like made me feel really nice. I'm like, wow. Like I was just reapplying my makeup. I was just taking a while.
Oh, that reminds me. Okay, I'm gonna get back to you, but I just gotta say this. Okay, I was in a situation where I went camping, group camping one time, and it was with this girl that we weren't together. There was a couple, there was like two other couples, right? And there was like a public restroom that had showers in it. And like there was these two guys that like I heard them joking about like kind of some fucked up shit, and like I could just tell like I had a really bad feeling about these two guys. And she was gonna go and take a shower in the ladies' restroom, and these two guys, they were just like kind of just like hovering around and stuff. Like I just had a bad feeling. I was like, yo, man, I told her, I was like, I don't want you go and take a shower in the ladies' restroom. Like, why don't you just go in the men's restroom and I'll wait outside and I'll keep an eye and you can go take a shower. But I don't want you to be alone. And it was late at night. It was like 1 o'clock at night. So like I told her that, and like she was like, no, you're overreacting and this and that. And then like, I don't know, I just had this like protective, uncomfortable feeling that these two guys were gonna do something to that girl. And then like she got so mad at me like later, and she was like, this and that, like you're being too controlling and this and that. And like, I guess I hurt her feelings, right? But I was doing it out of like a better judgment. So I feel like a lot of times in relationships, girls don't, I mean, I get why some girls don't trust their man because they're not competent, but I feel like in a lot of situations, like girls will get their feelings hurt because the man had some kind of better judgment that he wasn't able to articulate, but he just had that like that feeling. But okay, so how would you feel if you got your feelings hurt from him doing something that was actually the right thing, but it hurt your feelings because it made you feel that way? Like being an intelligent, logical person, would you put your feelings to the side and say like, okay, like I should probably trust his judgment?
Yeah, I think if I'm with him, I would trust his judgment. And I think I trust him. So I don't think he would do anything to disrespect me. I feel like I have good intuition, so.
I know it's a tough question. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is like accountability on the back end. So like also like, you know what I'm saying, you having that trust, but if it hurt your feelings in the moment when you brought it back up, he was able to like, hey, I did it because X, Y, and Z. And then like, you know what I'm saying, you guys can have a conversation with it about them. But I do feel like in the moment, yeah, you do need to have like somewhat of that trust to be like, you know what I'm saying, to just react off, you know what I'm saying, just blindly follow it, at least just for a second, and then you can go back and recap.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. I just feel like women should let their men lead more and follow them blindly sometimes. Because because like sometimes a guy can't articulate why he's being protective and why he feels like there's danger, but there really is some danger around, and like he doesn't always know how to say like, yo, this is why. But he just gets that, like, people talk about like women's intuition all the time. Like men have really good intuition when it comes to like protective instincts. So like, I just think women should be listening to their men sometimes more often and not be like, I don't know.
I understand where you're coming from, but I feel like it's a building block thing instead of like an all at once. So like I can see like, okay, boom. If there's been like a series of situations where like, one, okay, follow me blindly this one time, and I explained it to you. But if there's a pattern of me like us avoiding situations because of my judgment, I think at that point is when it should you should kind of start leaning on me, because like I've proven that I've been able to. But I feel like just all at once is be like, hey, just do what I say. Like it's everything. It's a show me type thing.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's not even like a conversation that is to be had. Like if you saw your man and you're like, yo, I know he's street smart, I know he's intelligent, I know he has good intuition and good instincts, you're gonna listen to him even when you don't know why you should be listening to him sometimes.
Yeah, but I think there's a fine line between like being controlling and doing something else. But I don't think I would follow him blindly all the time. I mean, he should be following me too.
4 hours is better than 2. There's a couple times.
Is he gonna follow me blindly?
Well, it depends. If he's following you in advice to how to raise the children and like,
or finances.
I mean, what if he's a billionaire? Why is he gonna listen to you when he has already got like? I feel like whatever you're better at, then he should open up his ears and listen, right? And as a trade-off, I guess it's like what you said. It's like you gotta prove why you should be the leader in a situation and expect people to follow versus just expect that without proving.
Yeah. I also feel like it falls back into that consideration type thing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm dating a billionaire and it's like, well, I have an idea, like you having the ability to listen to my idea, you know what I'm saying? That's another part that goes into choosing. Because I feel like a lot of like the dating discourse goes into like who you have after you've already chosen. So it's like when you're making the choosing process, if you just had just a little bit more, if you were just a little bit more particular in your choosing process, then there wouldn't be so much discourse as to what's happening like after you're already in the situation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I want to go back to this whole following and leading situation.
Why can't I be the billionaire?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
No, I want to be.
So do you feel like you have something to prove, that you want to be like, yo, like I'm smarter too, and I'm stronger too, and like you should listen to me and you should follow me? Yeah. Is it an ego thing, or is it out of like logic?
I don't think it's like being strong. I'm like, I'm strong too, and it's like I don't have a big ego, like I really don't. But I'm not gonna be like second in everything.
So you want it to be 50-50. You want your man to listen to you 50% of the time, and you to listen to him 50% of the time.
Yeah, and like if he is an expert in like certain things like in health, I'm gonna for sure listen to his advice, but I'm also gonna add like my own perspective too.
What if he said that like, yes, I will always take in consideration of what you say, but I do have the final word at the end of the day?
No,
then you're not taking consideration.
Yeah.
That's the words. Words mean things. It's like I can't tell you that I'm taking consideration of your thoughts if I don't take any consideration of your thoughts.
No, like he's gonna say, I'm gonna hear it out. If it makes sense, I'm totally gonna listen. But at the end of the day, if in my better judgment, I see that like, no, this is not conducive to the well-being of our relationship, then I'm gonna say no to it.
Yeah, that's the whole situation at present. Like, yeah, if you're the expert, then yes, of course, I'll offer some of my input. But if you being the expert, it sounds absolutely wrong to you, then yeah, of course, don't do that.
I just think I was born in the wrong era. Like, I just want to be, I just want to be the.
You want to be the alpha and the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
do. Why is it that you want to be that way?
I'm just kidding. I don't want to, but I wouldn't think I would be able to date someone like that.
That wasn't 50-50 mindset?
No, like someone who would be like, I have the final word. It's like, because then I just feel that you think less of me, or you think I'm beneath you, and I'm not.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like more people agree with what you say than what I say. I feel like 99% of the people agree with what you're saying, and only 1% me. But I don't know. I don't know why I think that way, but I just think that if there's something that she has like way good judgment at, I'm 100% open ears and I'm gonna listen. But I just see so many marriages end so terribly because I feel like the men are not taking enough of a leadership role. And leadership doesn't mean 50-50. Leadership means one person is in front and the other person is following behind. So, not to be too to rock the boat too much. Yeah. I feel like this camera is gonna die right now. This white one always dies at about an hour and 30. So do you guys have anything to wrap it up? If not, we could
Yeah, I just want to say that
go for it.
the divorce rate it's mainly like old people getting divorced, not like the younger folks. So it's like I just want to say that it's the old folks.
And I also want to say that it's mostly women that are initiating the divorce. So I don't know. I don't have enough stats to back it up, but I wish I did so I could articulate it better. Yeah. But anyways, I'm really glad that you guys came out. Alfred, thanks for being here. Angie, thanks for being here. I hope you guys had a good time. I know it got kind of tension and awkward sometimes, but that's the whole point. I feel like that makes for better content. Yeah. And everyone, peace out.
Bye.